If Floyd Mayweather identified as a woman,
Okay.
should he be allowed to box other biological women?
I can't answer this question. I'm gonna get absolutely hated on.
You want a real man to make a meal, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you guys all confidently say yes?
Yes.
Do you think that would be a fair fight?
Yes.
If the organization forced the female boxers to have to compete and they
Yes.
had no choice? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So a female boxer in his same weight class? Yes. At that point, she would be a woman, and I think it's problematic to say that a woman cannot be as strong as Floyd Mayweather, I guess.
No, I don't think it's like fair at that point. I think my perspective is a little different because I'm in sport. I play hockey, so like skating and stuff, like no way.
Yes.
They're automatically faster, stronger.
You're saying if he is who he is right now and then tomorrow he decides.
And just decided I'm a woman, I'm gonna box.
No.
You're not.
No.
Probably not. I mean, I see both sides
He would
of the
kill.
argument.
He would kill someone.
This is, okay, that's how I feel about
I think like the physical strength obviously is very unfair, but I'm all about like trans rights and everything like that and equality with like gender and everything, so that's why I kind of get sticky in a situation.
I believe so, yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
Would that be like a fair fight?
I believe so, yes. I don't think that biology necessarily equates to someone's skill range.
I don't think it'd be safe.
Yeah, no, probably not. Not that it's not fair to trans community, but it's just like, it's a hard situation to be in for sure.
Probably not. It's probably way too dangerous.
Kind of on the same page if the other opponent like agrees to it beforehand.
Okay, but what if they don't agree? What if the organization forces them to have to?
Not then,
Okay,
yeah.
then you're not.
I say no because men are built different, they're stronger, and I just think this is not equal.
Yeah.
I think the same thing. I think that there's a different strength involved, and I think that, you know, masculinity is also a thing. I don't think that it would be a fair fight.
If he hadn't had anything hormonally done, then I would say probably not.
If he went through like a hormonal regimen, blockers of some kind, what would you say then?
I don't know. An A.
I think that'd be unfair for the women who train their whole lives to compete in the sport. And then you have a biological male that does transition to female and just to compete in their sport, and she would win most of the titles in that division.
Having already won 15.
Exactly.
I still feel like it might be unsafe, like
That
especially
too.
for like his caliber of how great he is.
What would you say if I told you today that people answered yes to this question? I've had multiple people that I interviewed who said it would be a fair fight.
I just don't believe that in any way, shape, or form. Like, I get the thought behind it. Like, once they transition and they take the hormones, like, you can compete at that level technically, but that just doesn't sit well with me.
I mean, everyone has their opinions on everything, so
Yeah.
I guess in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter what I think or what someone else thinks.
But this affects women more so than any other group because it just doesn't happen the other way around. Like, it always happens where biological men compete in women's sports and
Especially if they
succeed
don't
and
do
do
so
well.
in the men's
So, like, do you think this is a setback for women's rights? Because I've had some people today who told me this is the future of women's rights.
I guess it just depends on how much they dominate by. If it's like crazy numbers, like they're completely just wiping everybody out, then I think it's not really fair.
Thomas wins the NCAA championship.
I was just happy to be here trying to race and compete as best as I could.
Already set a state record today.
For the first 25 years of her life, Hannah was Callum, a male handballer who represented Australia.
At the age of 43, nearly double the age of any of the other female contestants.
Fallon Fox, who's an MMA fighter, also went through puberty as male, like identifies as female, fractured a woman's skull during a fight.
Fox delivering the knees, and that's it. Fallon Fox.
That was sweet, huh? Did you like that? Every woman in this tournament better look out.
Being born male doesn't give you a physical advantage competing in female MMA?
No, not at all.
I don't know much about that at all.
Same. I feel like I would have to do more research. I feel like it's completely different if you go through male puberty or not.
100% of
Yeah.
athletes who are male identifying as female go through puberty as being male.
Yeah, then that's kind of a scary scene.
I don't think they should be able to fight women or whoever that was.
I think they should be able to fight other athletes that maybe identify as they do. That'd be more fair.
I don't know. Isn't it like boxing? It's just like dangerous overall.
Yeah, anybody could fracture someone's skull. I mean,
You can, but you have a much higher chance, I think, especially if you have like a biological advantage, like with your bone density, with your higher center of gravity, all the things that are advantaged by going through puberty. As being male, you take that with you into a fight. It sounds like you guys are all in agreement still.
Yeah.
Are they not all being injured like that? Right? Are there?
So if everybody's being injured, it's fine then. If a man is fracturing a woman's skull.
Well, again, trans women are women, so it would be a woman. Do you think trans women are women?
No.
So I mean, that's where we disagree.
USA Powerlifting just lost a lawsuit because they refused to let someone compete in women's sports who went through puberty as a male but identifies as female.
A 4-year-long fight has come to an end after a judge ruled that USA Powerlifting has indeed discriminated against a transgender woman who was banned from competing in women's competitions.
Mostly I feel relief. I think we needed a win here and it feels good to get that. Do you think that was the right verdict?
Kind of going back to what I said, like I just think it's unfair for like actual women who are competing and they're trying to go against other people, but then somebody with like a higher muscle mass comes in and like is obviously gonna win. I mean, I look back at like the NCAAs for swimming and how a male who, well, now is portrayed as a female raced in
Referring to Leah
Thomas? Yes, and I think she tied with someone else who was competing and there was only one trophy and she got the trophy over another one.
And we swam the 200 freestyle. We tied down to the 100th of a second, which is pretty rare.
Yeah.
I go behind the awards podium, but the NCAA official looks at me and says, "Great job, y'all tied. The trophy goes to Leah.
What?
We'll eventually mail you yours."
Like they almost like point them out too much, if that makes sense.
Think they made the right decision, the right call on the lawsuit?
For me, like, I don't know. I need to learn more about the science of the hormonal blocking, but yeah, I guess like if I was a biological woman, power lifter or whatever, I would probably be a little like, is this totally fair? I'd for sure question it, but like wouldn't be opposed until I got more like hard facts. Like I don't have any like super strong opinion until I know like the facts.
I would say yeah. If we're trying to be inclusive, it's not their fault that they already went through puberty as a male. And if they identify as a female and if they went through the necessary hormone blocker precautions, I don't see why it's against the rules for them to compete with women.
What about the women that they're competing against? Is it their fault either? So should they have to compete, even if they feel like it's unfair?
I guess so. I don't know. I'm just thinking about it. I don't know.
Do you think like toxic masculinity is the thing?
Yes.
How would you define that or describe that?
I would say just men thinking that they were superior to women because they're men.
Okay.
Simply.
And simply by men, just people who identify as male?
Yes.
So we could erase toxic masculinity by more men identifying as female?
I don't know.
Right? Because as long as that's what you identify as, then if I do some terrible shit as a guy and then I just say, well, I'm a woman, then it's no longer toxic masculinity, it's something else.
I think that if someone identifies as a man, then they can have toxic masculinity, but if they identify as a woman, then I don't think so.
So you would be happy about this person winning the lawsuit against USA Powerlifting?
Yes, I would.
If they're identifying as woman, they're a woman.
I think that's totally wrong.
But it's here. It's here in Minnesota right now. So just,
oh, wow.
What do you think?
I think it's wrong. I think that it's just, I'm not against, like, gay rights and things like that. I just think, like, it's just unfair, because I just feel like men have a different strength than women, and I feel like it's just not okay.
Every athletic organization in Minnesota is going to face pressure that if someone sues them, this is the legal precedence being set in Minnesota. Soon May will find out if they have to pay damages, but they already lost the case here in Minnesota.
maybe they'll overturn it.
Honestly, as a lifter, a lot of women put in a lot of hard work to get to where they are.
So I feel like if a male is the switch, because males are naturally, they have that the muscle mass that makes it easier for them. I feel it's very unfair to the women who have worked very hard.
If we could come up with an answer that made everyone happy, then someone a lot smarter that has devoted a lot more of their time would have already came up with it.
But also, just because there's not a solution now doesn't mean you should ever stop thinking of solutions to like better it one day, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so I mean, what solution would there be? Changing someone's bone structure? Like,
I mean, it's tough.
Erasing their puberty? Like, what's the solution?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we don't know a solution now, but like, I don't know. I feel like eventually you can come to a way where everyone can be happy. I mean, I don't know what it is, but I think there can be a way to make it fair for everyone.
You might be a little bit more optimistic than me. But anyways, have a great day.
Yeah,
So
too,
enjoy the warm weather. We're just kind of finishing up filming today. Just wanted to mention a couple things. Everybody's been pretty chill that we've talked to as far as like their demeanor, or there haven't been any fights. Obviously we have very different opinions. We talked to very few guys today who actually had the opinion that Floyd Mayweather should be able to box biological women. The women that we talked to were more likely to actually say yes to that question. All that's anecdotal, so we could run into different people in a different place and maybe it would be a different thing. I personally think it's sad for me watching a lot of women being willing to let other women have to box men, like be forced to, like in these competitions. Let me know if you think Minnesota's on the right page for its future, or if you think it's getting a little bit out of hand and a little bit extreme here in this state. So thanks for checking out the video.